Hey, gorgeous soul tribe. I kind of hit go before fully ready because I just saw a couple of fairies just singing by as soon as I sat down to film this. So, yeah, hopefully we have another visit from them today in this episode. So, this week is a little bit of a heavy one on the heart astrologically. So, please make sure to stay tuned to get all of the tips and tools to learn how to best navigate this week and to try and make a smoother road ahead. Yeah, it's a really, really important week. So with this, there's already a card that's fallen out. So let's start. So it was really funny. I was over at my gorgeous niece's house, who is in kinder. So she's with my sister, but she was making potions today. It was so cute. She's like, honey, so can I make a potion? And so, yeah, she's over at a little outdoor table making a potion. And she tells me that her wish is for a unicorn. And I said, well, sometimes they'll come in signs, or you might see one, or maybe it might, be in a picture. And I got back home and I was just, sort of setting things up, getting ready to film this. And one of my decks fell on the floor, and the card that shot out right next to me is a unicorn. So I've sent her a photo and I'm like, look at this. Your magic worked. You popped a unicorn out. So that'll be really exciting for her. This is actually for you guys as well, I feel, rhodiola. And I say that because I feel that rhodiola is an amazing herb. Let me just grab this. Rhodiola is really good for, as you can see on here, stress. It's a really good ADHD support. It's really good at balancing the limbic system, which is our emotional center. So if we're in a roller coaster week where we know we're going to be thrown through a few hoops, or there's high expectations, or, a lot of stress, and you have to be a little bit under the pump to function, or even if you just naturally have a bit more ADHD and your brain has a few tabs open at once, rhodiola is an amazing herb. So we're going to start by reading that. But look at this. It's Uranus, and we have enchantment. So I just thought that is just such a beautiful message. And maybe my niece was tuning into a bit of our magic as well. So really, really cute. And look at that. The page that opened into the middle, rhodiola, literally between my fingers into the middle. So with this, it is about magic, wisdom, keeping, purity, higher consciousness, clarity, intuitive intellect, and enchantment. So let me read the guardian guidance with this. So the unicorn is known as the great protector of the forest. Like rhodiola, some unicorns are said to live nearby high mountains to this day, nourishing and protecting the wise ancient forests left. So rhodiola is in your cards today to remind you that you are intelligence embodied, intuitive and articulate and knowledgeable. So you exude mastery, purity, authority, and wisdom. Emotions do not cloud your judgment. Your actions are measured carefully and intuitively, as you contain ancient codes on the ways to heaven and earth, or the ways of heaven and earth. The subtle essence of the unicorn resides in the third eye. So if a unicorn medicine comes to you, your sense of wise creativity and aliveness and will deepen. Don't neglect your medicine. Honor your natural gifts. Stand tall. Own your medicine and know who it is that you're becoming. So that being said, one of the actual medicines, or the potions, teas, herbal tea that we have for this week is Heal a Broken Heart. And this is to navigate some of the deeper astrological alignments that we're going through this week. I think we do have, I think it was Venus conjunct Saturn as well. So let me just pop up a little screen share to show you guys what it is that we're working with. Just waiting for that to pop up. Oh, this is my solreta.com. I was trying to open the other window, but you'll see here, if you want to go deeper in a one-on-one session, or you want to discuss anything sort of magical, this is a really great session to book, which is the Psychic Tarot reading with me. We do have the beautiful couple session available as well, which is so much fun. That's a 2-hour session. That is my longer session. And we also incorporate aura drawings into all of these sessions, even the galactic session too. So if you guys are looking for this Heal a Broken Heart potion, or any of the other potions, you will actually see it's over on alchemypotions.com. And we also, I'm up for a Building Spiritual Community Award. So I am a finalist. heading to Queensland next month for the awards, which will be so much fun. We do have new moon in Libra also coming up around October 21st. This is the one from last month, which you will get sent a free invite to actually receive a free invite when you buy a potion. So this is a beautiful community to join, and we do online manifestation. We also work through old belief systems and eradicating things, as well as doing meditation together. So I also want to shout out, thank you so much for your love and support on my YouTube channel. Now, we did have one really popular video over the last couple of weeks, which doesn't appear when you go onto the lives. I had a lot of trouble loading it up, and it was the hypnosis session on 3i Atlas that Jake and I did together. So you will find that under the video section, and it's here with 3.7k views, and that was 11 days ago that we put that up. So that one has been really popular to look into. Tomorrow on our live, we're actually going to go into, in this one, we're going to talk a little bit more information. Let me just pop this down so we can see Corbin. There he is. So tomorrow we're actually going to go into the live, talk about the hypnosis, talk about updates and dreams and other connecting information, because it was a controversial video in regards to a lot of the other channeled information that other people have talked about. So we're going to break down and talk about the difference between channeling versus hypnosis versus also remote viewing. So there'll be a bit to get into with that. And also, we're going to look into the astrology with Corbin, and we're going to have a look into the tarot and see what comes up around 3i Atlas as well. So that'll be a really great show. So anything you need will be in the description box below. So let's get into the reading for this week. Oh, almost forgot. The crystal is rose quartz. How could I forget this beautiful piece? Right there with my cards on there. So with that, rose quartz being one to really nurture, and I feel this piece covers my whole heart chakra. It's just such a gorgeous piece. Literally, I could probably lay there with this on my heart chakra. So if you have some rose quartz, it might be a really good time this week to get it out. And I actually will start with the astrology. So this week we begin with the moon in Pisces. So this will really help to soften our hearts, open us up to compassion. So there's a really beautiful way that we can listen with our hearts this week and to listen to those around us. So it's to try not to, be reactive is a good way to describe it this week. And with this as well, it's also listening to your body. So you might feel that relationships have a heightened feeling this week, showing us both joy and connection that we crave, as well as freedom or authenticity. If you're feeling uncomfortable or you're noticing that things are coming up, just see it more as guidance and awareness rather than an obstacle or a block. Just sort of look at it like you would say, oh, that's really interesting that this is coming up, and moving on from that. So it's a chance to really grow really deep and big this week. This is also that we're growing more into love and more into sort of becoming. And I just saw something fly past then. Emotional intelligence is also the word that Spirit is giving me for the week as well. So it's all about balance. So that's why I'm talking about working with Heal a Broken Heart, working with rose quartz. It really is a time to try and use different tools and things to help us gain that balance. And also it's just a good reminder. So on the 6th, we're going to have Mercury move into Scorpio, which will shift our thoughts and conversations more into deeper waters. And we know that water represents emotion, Scorpio also being that watery sign. And this is your best time to trust your intuition. So asking questions that sort of are not shallow or surface or kind of, leading to people feeling attacked. It's more kind of asking deep and meaningful questions, looking below the surface, watching out for any daydream type energy or uncertainty. Earlier in the week, rhodiola that we talked about before is a perfect one for that. Of course, do your own research. So it's okay to pause as well before making decisions. So please don't feel rushed into anything. So on that same night, around the 6th, we're going to have the illuminated energy of the full moon in Aries. So this is going to feel a little bit fiery, a little bit raw. It's also an energy of awakening. So think of themes like independence, leadership, how you show up in relationships, and the things that also come to the surface. So you'll feel pulled more to sort of be on your own path. And also, you might notice that you're also noticing at the same time needs of others as well. So it might feel like trying to find balance between that. So please make sure to also give yourself some love with that. You may also have revelations around things or deeper insight this week. So just letting your intuition guide you. Just be really mindful to not be reactive or to not, cut things off before you have a chance to think things through. It is a little bit of a volatile energy this week. As we move into the 7th and the 8th, the Aries energy will continue to spark action, because we know that Aries is that first racehorse out of the gate. Is the way I always talk about it. So it's quite fast acting. It's really not one to think so much before they speak. So that's really, really important to make sure that we're thinking really about multiple different sort of levels and layers, not too much, not overthinking, not doing a Virgo or Gemini overthinking. But with this, it's really just having a look at how we can also ease tension with communication. So making sure that you're balancing your nervous system, that you're that you're self-regulating as well as co-regulating. So, sometimes when communication and things are not working the best, physical touch might be a really good co-regulator. Breathing together. I live in Australia, so there's not always a mindset sometimes for Australian men to get into mindfulness practice and things. But what I'm saying is using physical touch or offering, a massage, things like that can help to sort of bring us back into a state of co-regulation. So think about things from that side of things, and remembering balance is the most important things for this week. So with this as well, this is more about having honesty, conversations, soulful conversations, rather than kind of like a power struggle type energy. So by midweek, we will have the moon shift into Taurus, where we'll be craving more kind of Taurian things, comfort, grounding, stability, comfort food as well. Maybe even feeling to go shopping. A beautiful time to reconnect your body and to reconnect with nature, and also just the simple pleasures in life like Taurus likes. So by the weekend, the energy will begin to soften as we move more into the moon and preparing to move throughout Gemini and into Cancer, bringing emotional connection and heartfelt sharing. It's also a really powerful week to release, awakening, and for transformation. The more that you trust your inner guidance and stay centered in love, the easier this week will be just to kind of like ride that wave. So just think about that, holding that grace energy as we ride this wave. Let's have a look what the beautiful tarot has to say. So I'm using the Thoth deck today. And I also just want to say thank you for actually hitting the thumbs up too and sharing this out. It makes such a difference to my channel and to the amount of people that also see this. So I really appreciate our gorgeous soul tribe and community. And thank you especially to those that have been with me since the start. It's a long time now. Okay, so they want 5 cards. I've got these on my beautiful crystal. We've got, looks like, oh, there was a bonus. There was a hidden card. And we have 1 card in reverse. So I'll feel into these and we flip them over. So what I'm being shown is to really kind of look into the Libra energy as well. So we have also moved into Libra season. So happy birthday to my beautiful Libras. And what I just keep seeing is the scales. And I keep seeing a heart that's on the scales weighed against a feather. So I do feel this is about balance. This is also the card of adjustment that Spirit is showing me in terms of where we have the scales, which is the Justice card in the traditional Rider-Waite deck. So I do feel it's interesting. These scales are coming down from higher self and more kind of from the heavens or from God and from our guides. So I do feel this is establishing balance first in the spiritual realm or spiritual dimension, and finding more kind of like that meditative mindset to achieve the balance first. The other thing that I'm seeing after that is like a surrounding of kind of like a golden circle of protection coming with this. So it's kind of like if we're putting up or a spiritual shield, or we're kind of balancing things in the spiritual level, that things will kind of fall a little bit more softly in terms of the physical. So sometimes we, focus a lot on physical clearing, I do feel that this is more focused on spiritual and energetic, and even like clearing out from any entities, things of that sort of nature that could try and cling on. Because what happens sometimes when we're going through heavier like astrology, you have two people potentially that have conflict or some tension, and you will sometimes see that the planets will influence that to be a little bit more exacerbated. Now, when we talk about entities and things, they will see that as a perfect window to come in and to trigger certain things or to project. And some of them will even jump into people, getting them to say certain things. So if we're energy protecting from the top down, then that's a really good way as like a first sort of, I guess, guideline to buffer and protect, and to protect our physical and mental and emotional space. So let's flip these cards over. So don't forget to ask for help. It's not a time really where we're receiving new things. This is more kind of like a time to pause, to complete things. We also have a new journey coming up more towards the end of the week, but just please make sure that your energy is not feeling scattered, or that you're not trying to do too many things. This really does feel like a beautiful week to have a deep inner reflection, a deep pause. So Knight of Swords, we have the Ace of Disc in reverse. We also have that Four of Wands, so we could get relationship energy triggers. This has also got the Aries and Venus energy, and we did talk about Aries to do with the Aries full moon, and we have the card of the Fool. So please make sure that you're not sort of like naively looking at things, or not sort of just going along with the plan, because it could land you in a little bit of hot water. We have the Eight of Wands, and Eight of Wands for me is where we're trying like everything. So sometimes when we're stuck or we're frustrated, it's like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try that. Pull your energy back in. This is what we call leading to the High Priestess energy as well. I talk about that quite a bit, because in this particular deck, she has the bow and arrow, but she puts it down and surrenders on her knees, holds her hands to the heavens to bring that vision into our realm and reality. Even just watching filming this today, I can see so much in terms of the veils very, very thin, in terms of like seeing, auric colors in the background. I don't usually pay attention to that around myself as much because I'm so used to living with it, but I'm seeing that the veil seems even softer, even finer vibrationally. So let's have a look into some words of advice. Oh, and this is trickster energy sometimes, similar to what I was just talking about, for watching out for any archon or negative entity or demonic stuff, trying to also push people's buttons, push people's triggers. So just be careful if you're getting contacted or anything from past. And Eight of Wands was the card just then. He's still trying to jump out of my deck. So we just spoke about that. It is Mercury and Sagittarius. We have that come out with a Page of Wands. And Page of Wands is a little bit of Phoenix rising from the ashes energy, bit of Leo leadership. It's that energy of making small movements or making the first step. So it doesn't mean finish off everything, but it is sort of, maybe that epiphany or that spiritual inspiration. We have the Seven of Coins. So this is just sort of calmly, quietly to be working away on things. I would say this is a good week to focus on work rather than getting distracted by a lot of the energy that we talked about. We also have the Ace of Disc coming out that way. So I do feel that is confirmation more to focus on work, focus on really seeing yourself in that position, in that happy space of where you want to be. And that's how we're getting new inspiration and things come up. This may even be a new job or opportunity for a few of you. We also have the Hierophant, so doubling down on paying attention to intuition, like we talked about. And we have the Magician. So this, going from the Fool card, which was in the first spread, when we're really paying attention to what Spirit said and not sort of like trying to find all these 3D physical sort of solutions, but when we sort of surrender and we go into that place of how we would like to feel. So meditation is one of the biggest things you can do this week, and breath work to shift, as well as regulating your nervous system. So the Magician is, the Fool would be the beginning, and the Magician would be the ending or the Magnus. So it's also a little bit of a warning to watch out for people that are maybe perhaps a little bit manipulative or volatile, or perhaps magnetizing, but not in a positive way. So let's see in the Alice in Wonderland deck if there is anything else that wants to come out in terms of advice for this week for our beautiful soul tribe. And I'll flip these straight over. So we have Six of Wands, which could be a timeline change. It's also a victory. And we have the King of Flowers, which is the beautiful spiritual king. We also have the Five of Swords, which is an energy of defeat, is what it's known of in the Thoth deck. And we have, let me get this one, they're sticking together, 10 of Hedgehogs and the pair or the Lover's card. So with this, what I would say is new timelines and things opening up. We do have with the King of Wands as well. This is more sort of like an energy of following that higher guidance, being also in this place where you realize like your own value, your own worth. So this would be to get out of any defeatist type mindset, really start to like evaluate, maybe even pull up like an old resume and see how much you've grown and how much you can add to it. Because I was being shown more things around work, and with the pair, which is traditionally more the Lover's card as well, this could be new opportunities, new contracts and agreements. So really be in that space of doing what it is that you're wanting to do. And I have had a few clients lately too, also talking about career changes, job opportunities. So it does seem to be in the energetic collective right now as well. So let's see from the... Let's get a card, final card. And I just want to say anything that you guys are after is in the description box below. So whether it is a reading with me or if it is a potion. And this is the deck that we have, which is Beyond Lemuria, which are the oracle cards. Oh, and I also want to say with the potions, I think our Australian to American post has opened up again. I did have to send some things through UPS just for I think about 2-3 weeks there. So we have Internal Explorer, so 32. So what we said before about more exploring the intuition rather than sort of like making hasty decisions or changes, it's definitely a good week for more that internal landscape. So let's have a little read of this. So it's about flow state, accessing the infinite information by going within. Wisdom from the collective consciousness, theta waves, which we know are the brain waves that are conducive for more of a meditation healing state. Channeling, breaking free from limiting intellect, creative boldness, and being guided by the divine spark that you already hold. The keys. So this divinary meaning is, because there's so much to read, I'm just reading that little section. So you were invited to explore the flow state. This card also is a reminder that you are infinitely amazing being who can access the collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the great process to get out of your own way. So you have permission. You have the permission you felt you needed. So go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are awaiting for you. All right, beautiful soul family. I will see you guys tomorrow with Corbin and Jake. Please join us for the Astrology Tarot catch-up. Also talking about the hypnosis session. Oh, I just saw that little thing fly past then. All right, have a wonderful week.